Hello everybody, it's Rosemary here from the Sweet Poppy Stencils design team. I hope you're enjoying the March inspirational day so far. There's lots of fun to be had today. I hope you enjoy it. For my tutorial, I've made a card using the large Toadstool. I'll be adding a list of items that's needed onto the end of the video, but they'll also find them on the Facebook page today. So to start our card, we need two 6 by 6 inch pieces of smooth card. Now I always stamp my design onto a 6 by 6 and then I cut it down and I use the other one as my matting and layering, and I place them on a 7 by 7 inch blank card. Okay, so I've already got my Toadstool set up on my stamping platform, and as you can see, there's my 6 by 6 inch card and my stamp. I'm going to use sand dune for my mushroom design. So I'm going to stamp up my large toadstool, sorry, I keep calling it giant, I don't know why. Patting my stamp, and then I'm just placing it onto my card. I'm going to press down. So there we go. I can take my remove my card from my sticky mat, which is new, so it's very sticky. I shall put my stamp away later. So there's our stamped image. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to highlight my toadstool with a pencil. So I'm using a nice brown pencil, and I'm just going to colour in, because I'm using pencils again to just colour in my toadstool. So I'm just using a little slightly darker brown pencil on my toadstool. I know they're usually a grey colour, but and so we are going to use some pencil blending solution and also a paper stub, which is here. It's called a paper stub, pencil stub. So once that's done, I'm going to get our pencil stub. I'm going to dip it into my pencil blending solution, and then just exactly the same, using circular motion, just blend your pencil together, and it actually blends both colours together very well, and it leaves you with a smooth finish. and then blend in the darker blue. Making sure I bring it into the centre. Work this way so I don't come outside the toadstool. Now, as you can see on my original, I haven't left these white like they are on the card. I have given them some colour. So I'm going to use the brown I used before, but very lightly. Now, I'm hardly touching the card, sorry. Use the tip of the pencil to give you a darker colour. It was so lovely to see everybody's designs they made from the last inspirational day. Makes you feel really good when you can inspire people, and there were absolutely beautiful designs and samples that everybody made. I'm so happy that you all enjoyed the day. So for my next piece of my card, I'm going to use a different green now. I'm going to use like a grassy green. This is also polychromo pencils. So I'm just going to gently rub my pencil underneath where I want my grounding to be. And then I'm gradually going to work my way out to the edge. Then come back in and decide where I want my grounding to be. I'm going to make it a little bit darker up underneath the actual toadstool and leaves, so it looks like a shadow forming. Just get my green paper stub. Just have a glass jar. This was face cream, and I just got a piece of sponge and put it in, and it works really well. And then just blend that all in. There we go. Now, the next part of our design is to stamp our fairies. So we're going to get our stamping platform out again. I'm removing my stamp. Place that back on its backing paper. Place my card back on my stamping platform, and I'm going to stamp my sitting fairy first. And this is going to be my sitting fairy, so she's going to go in between the two little bits there. And I'm going to be using Nocturne by Versafine Clear. Get the lid off. It's a nice juicy ink pad. It's sort of newish. Not pressing too hard. It's perfect. Just a little bit more on her actual wing. I've missed a bit, I think. I'm just going to make sure there's not too much ink on there. So I'm just going to tap that in. Place that down, and there we go. So that's our first fairy done. Because it's a tiny stamp, put it back in your packet. Sometimes I don't, and I can't find them for ages. And then my second stamp is the fairy that's flying to say hello. I'm going to place her there. Oh, that she long. Let's have her looking like she's saying hello to her face. There we go. Just tap her gently. I think she's got ink all over her. There we go. Beautiful. And the same with this little one. Put this away. So that's that part of our stamping done. I just want to make sure that they're both dry. So I'm happy with them. So now we're going to use our floral trellis. So I'm going to get out my get rid of my old tape. I'm going to place that on there. Now I'm only going around, it's my Sweet Poppy brush, and I'm going to use Archival ink Forget Me Not. Piece of paper. So I'm going to brush some off, and I'm just going to go around in circular motions. I'm only going around the design of the mushroom. I'm not going onto the mushroom, not mushroom, toadstool, sorry. Calling it a mushroom. Down to our grassed area. I can roughly see where the blue is going. And bring it down to the grassed area over this side. And once again, I'm just going to go round. I'm using the fairies as my guide as well. As you can see that, and it came round that way. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I do like this stencil, it's really delicate. And then you can just blend it in a little bit with whatever's left on your brush. I didn't re-dip it in the ink. And there we go. Now the next part of our design is to colour in our bits of green. And I'm just going to add a bit of green onto my foliage here. And then I just done little flicks for grass. There we go. And then just a little bit of our blending pencil for green, just to smooth them out a bit. It just adds any colour into the white bits that you missed. You could have a little mouse or something looking up on the grass area, or you could use some foliage there, some foliage stamps. Now for our white areas, what I did was I coloured in with a gold pen. So I'm going to do this bit, just colouring these in with a gold pen. So I use that on the toadstool, and then on the fairies and on the toadstool stems I've used a Sukara jelly roll pen in gold, and this is just to highlight some of the areas of the mushrooms, toadstools, sorry, getting annoyed with myself now. Got some little dots going up some of them, and some lines on other bits. We've got all the guides on the design of the stamp for you to follow, which is quite good. Gives you all your shadowing and everything, these designs on these stamps. I use glossy accents. We're on the gold part that I've just done, and as you can see, it's really popped that glitter underneath. I'm going to do glossy accents on this one, but I need to mount it first because I need to leave it to dry, and I want to give you some hints and tips on mounting in case you're new to crafting. Right, so let me just share a few hints and tips with you. So I'm putting a black piece of card under because I don't use black card to mount on anymore because it adds weight to the cost of postage, and nowadays we need to save as much money as we can. So I always just get my black Sharpie pen, piece of paper. I've put a black piece under so you can see how much of my card is showing. So that is all of the card that is showing. And I just get my Sharpie pen and I just place it against the side of my card and drag. And that gives me a nice black line, as you can see on the white. So I'll do this side again, just to show you once more. Just drag and touch. And by using two pieces of card, or a piece of card, I only normally use one piece of card. I just wanted you to see the card, the white that was showing, only just a tiny fraction. So then when we place that on top of there, we've got a nice matte and layering. Okay, so I've already double-sided taped that one. So now, whoops, a daisy, get back in there. So I place my wrist through my tape because I feel like it gives me more control. I use my clear ink pad as my cutter, and I just place my tape on the edge and use this to take it up to the edge of my card, so I get edge to edge double-sided tape. So for my last side, it will be on there like that, rip, and then pull back, and it actually makes sure it's firmly and flat on your card. Right, so we have a blank 7x7 card. So we can now mount our cards. So what I do is, everybody's different. Everybody has different ways of doing it. I don't like using glue for cards mounting. I do use glue for a lot of things, but not for mounting, because I always find I get it all coming out underneath the sides. I don't know why. So then I get my glue stick. And this just helps me to be able to move my card with my double-sided tape on, because it allows movement. And then I just making sure you've got clean fingers. Oh, sounds like there's a helicopter outside the house. And then we do exactly the same and we mount it onto our card. So I'm mounting it because then I want to leave my, won't be able to do all the glossy accents. But I shall just, oh, I know what I will do first actually. I will stamp hello. So this hello comes from the Kingfisher stamp from Sweet Poppy Stencils. So this is one of the, so, and I'm just going to place it there. Not pressing hard, I'm just pressing lightly, I'm just holding it in place and then lift. There we go. So you can find that hello stamp on the Kingfisher stamp set if you have purchased it. So we'll just rip out half of our tape off. And then we'll just put some Crit stick, you want to call it, onto there, and then we shall mount this onto our card, making sure our card opens the right way. Oops. And then just line it up. And there we go. So now glossy accents, I have two. I have this one and I have Spectrum Noir one. So I'm just going to do, ooh, if I can open it, that's it. I have a little pin here because sometimes it gets a bit blocked. And I'll just give it a little, that seems okay. So let's get a little scrap piece of paper. Oh, there you go. And it's coming out perfect. So as I said, I can't do them all because I need to let them dry. But they will just be the same as the ones As long as they're not touching each other, you just put the ones down and then come back and do the ones next to them once the first ones are dry. And that way they don't, sometimes they blend into each other and they just look like a big blob. I'm going to do this little one here first, and that little one there. And there we go. So I can't finish the rest of them, but that would actually be our finished card. When they dry, it all shines and sparkles through, as you can see in this one. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing all your fabulous creations popping up on Facebook over the next couple of days. Looking forward to doing another inspiration day in a few weeks' time. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. Rosemary.